You live in a world that teaches you how to pretend. From the moment you open your eyes, it whispers, wear this mask, speak this way, believe what everyone else believes, fit in, blend in, don't ask, don't doubt, don't stand out. And so you don't. You scroll, you agree, you adjust your tone, you hide your pain, and somewhere along the line, you forget who you are. Not because you never knew, but because you were taught to become everything else. Søren Kierkegaard saw this long before social media, long before reality became performance. He called it the crowd. Not just a gathering of people, but a force, an unconscious weight that crushes individuality under the illusion of comfort. Because in the crowd, you don't have to choose. You don't have to think. You just follow. You just perform. You just adopt opinions like clothing, wear them until they're no longer fashionable, and swap them out for something else. But the cost is high. Because the more you pretend, the more you vanish. You become a stranger to yourself. And Kierkegaard would say this: the greatest form of despair is to be yourself, only to realize you hate what you see. Not because you're evil, but because you are not true. He didn't write for the world. He wrote for the individual, for the man who lies awake at night and wonders why everything feels hollow, for the woman who plays every role society handed her and still feels invisible, for the soul that aches for something real in a world addicted to illusion. Because to be authentic is not to be admired, it is to be honest. And honesty is dangerous. It costs you everything you built in the dark, every relationship based on performance, every smile stitched from fear, every belief you never chose. Kierkegaard believed that truth is not something handed to you. It's something you suffer for, something you bleed for, something you stand for even when it costs you everything. Because truth is not objective. It is subjective, not meaning that it's relative, but that it must be lived. It must pass through your being, your choices, your struggle. It cannot be borrowed. It cannot be copied. And the moment you try to live another man's truth, you kill your own. This is the tragedy of modern life. We are drowning in information. Everyone has something to say. But no one is saying what they mean. No one is standing still long enough to hear their own soul speak. And so we echo, we mimic. We call it authenticity, but it's marketing. We call it vulnerability, but it's curated. We perform our lives for others, hoping they will tell us who we are. And Kierkegaard would scream, that is not life, that is sickness. Because to live in truth means you will offend. It means you will be misunderstood. It means you will walk alone. But better to walk alone in truth than to be surrounded in lies. Better to be hated for who you are than praised for what you are not. But few choose this path. Not because they are weak, but because they are afraid. Afraid of the silence that comes when a crowd moves on. Afraid of the emptiness that comes when you stop performing and realize you don't know who you are underneath. But that moment, that terrifying silence, is where the real work begins. Kierkegaard called it the leap of faith, not belief in dogma, but belief in yourself. The courage to jump into the unknown without certainty, without applause, without assurance. To stand in the storm of doubt and say, I will not betray myself, even if no one understands, even if no one stays, even if everything around me crumbles. I will be true. I will be real. I will not wear another mask just to survive another day. But this kind of truth is not easy. It is not romantic. It is not clean. It demands that you look in the mirror and tell the truth about your life. Not the version you show others, not the filtered highlights, the real one. The compromises, the lies, the moments you laughed when you wanted to scream, the moments you stayed when you wanted to run, the moments you said yes because you were too afraid to say no. And Kierkegaard would not condemn you for those moments. He would weep with you because he knew the weight of being human, the weight of wanting to be seen and fearing it at the same time, the weight of knowing that becoming yourself might cost you everything. And yet, he would still ask you to choose it, because the alternative is death, a living death, a slow decay into a life that feels like a performance you can't quit. And so he would ask, will you choose the easy life or the true one? Will you follow the crowd into comfort or stand alone in the fire of your own soul? Because here's the secret. Everyone wears a mask. The ones who smile the most are often the ones in the most pain. The ones who shout the loudest are often the most afraid. The ones who fit in best are often the most lost. And Kierkegaard's challenge is this: take off the mask, not for applause, not for rebellion, but for the sake of your own soul. Because nothing is worth more than that. Not reputation, not safety, not even love, if it requires you to betray yourself to keep it. This is the terrifying freedom of authenticity. It gives you no guarantees. It promises no comfort. But it gives you back your life. And that is something the world cannot offer you. It can give you roles, but not identity. It can give you praise, but not peace. It can give you distraction, but not meaning. Only you can find that. And only by walking the path Kierkegaard laid before you. The path inward. The path through fear. The path that demands everything and gives you back everything you lost. He believed that God isn't found in rituals or rules, but in the raw, trembling honesty of a single human being standing alone before eternity. Not hiding, not performing, but saying, here I am, with all my doubts, all my shame, all my longing. I don't have the answers, but I'm done pretending. That is faith. That is authenticity. And that is the only life worth living. So how do you become authentic in a fake world? You stop asking who you should be and start asking who you are. You stop chasing validation and start listening to the quiet voice inside you that you silenced long ago. You stop performing and start practicing honesty, even when it shakes you, especially when it shakes you. You stop fearing rejection and start fearing the slow death of a life lived in hiding. You stop measuring yourself by their metrics and start asking, what do I actually believe? What do I actually value? What do I actually love? And when the answers come, honor them, even if they cost you, even if they isolate you, even if they break everything you've built. Because better to break it now than to live a lie that will eventually collapse anyway. Authenticity is not safe. It is not popular. It is not fast. It is slow. It is hard. It is bloody. But it is the only path that leads to a life you can look back on without regret. Kierkegaard died misunderstood, mocked, isolated. He wrote under fake names. He published books that contradicted each other on purpose because he wanted to shake people, to jolt them awake. He wanted to say, don't copy me, don't quote me, don't worship me, live, think, choose, risk. And if that means walking alone, then so be it. Because solitude with truth is greater than belonging through lies. You must understand, Kierkegaard wasn't interested in building systems. He was interested in the individual soul, in your soul. He didn't care what society said about you. He wanted to know what you said about you, what your life said when no one was watching, what your decisions revealed when the lights were off and no one was clapping. Because that's where truth lives, not in your statements, in your being. And the greatest sin to Kierkegaard was not doubt. It was despair, not the kind that comes from suffering, but the kind that comes from self-abandonment, from living a life that is not yours, from becoming a copy, a shell, a puppet in someone else's play. That is despair. And most people live there without knowing it. They laugh, they smile, they achieve, but inside, they know. They know they have betrayed something sacred, and that knowledge festers. It eats at them until one day they forget what truth even felt like, and that is a tragedy no applause can cure. So if you want to be authentic in a fake world, you must suffer the silence. You must risk being misunderstood. You must learn to stand still while the world spins around you. You must dare to listen to the voice within, even when it speaks in whispers, even when it tells you to walk away from everything you've known, because that voice is your soul, and it is trying to bring you home. This is your task, not to become more impressive, not to become more liked, but to become more real, more grounded, more alive. And yes, it will hurt, but the hurt will be honest. The struggle will be yours. The joy will be rooted in something eternal, not in what they say about you, but in what you know about yourself. So do not ask for safety. Ask for truth. Do not seek applause. Seek alignment. Do not chase validation. Chase meaning. And do not wait. Because every day you perform is a day lost, and one day you will run out. And when you stand before the final mirror, only one question will matter. Did I live my life, or did I live theirs? And if the answer is theirs, start again. Right now. Choose the path, the hard one, the lonely one, the true one. Because in the end, truth is the only thing that will recognize you. And when the crowd forgets you, truth will remember your name. That is the Kierkegaard path. Not easy, but eternal. Not loud, but divine. Not admired, but free. Choose it. Or be chosen by everything else. The mask, the crowd, the performance, the slow death. But you were made for more. You were made to be real. So be, before it's too late.